Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today we are going a little bit meta on this one, a little bit of a different video where I go back to my prediction at the beginning of the year on what archetypes would get support in 2023, see how we're doing. We're about halfway through the year. We still have some big products to go before the year is over, in which some of these archetypes could be included, so we could notch a couple more dubs before the end of the year, but I think it's fun to check back in on where we are at this point in time. And I think it's important to note that this video was not even intended to be a hardcore predicting what 10 archetypes will get support in 2023, because then I want to put branded and shit like that in there, Kashtira before their second wave got revealed. There were easy ones, right? But if we're talking archetypes I wanted to get support, thought deserved it, this is more fun to see where it goes, because I actually do have a couple hits already in the year, and I'm not disappointed with where I'm at in my record. So let's get into this thing. Starting off here, we move through our honorable mentions. Of course, Magnet Warriors always deserve support. They should get a giant wave of support and be actually playable, just like ABC's got the chance to be. It's bullshit. But let's get into it. All right, first archetype here, Crusadia. This is a whiff by me. I think they're only one or two cards away from really taking a good leap in playability. It really feels like right now, if you play them, you have to play like the hard-going second strategy for the most part. Otherwise, the other like combo-y versions just aren't as good as every other good combo deck in the game, unfortunately. So yeah, I'd like to see them. They're a cool archetype, and that, you know, I think they just have some really cool lines in play, and they look cool, and they have cool lore, all that stuff. I thought they deserved to get support. Have not yet. Next up, we move to Roids. This was one that I thought deserved support because the player who plays them in the anime is like the sidekick of the main character. So this is a Cyrus Truesdale is actually a pretty relevant character in GX, and they really dog him. He's got like some of the worst, one of the worst archetype support, systems that we've seen in a lot of cases. So he deserves to get a whole wave. He deserves his own structure deck, or like a legendary duelist or something. 7 cards and a legendary duelist. He really deserves it. We'll see where it is. I have little hope that it'll be this year now, seeing what we've already gotten in someone like the legendary duelist and stuff. But hopefully, I hold on hope for later on he'll get it. Next up, Octoadic. Hit on this one. This one happened actually just about a week ago. Very happy about this. The new spell is incredible. The new monster is good in a pure version. We'll see. Probably isn't as good in other variants, but still a very nice card altogether. It's good to see, because we also got a couple of other reptile cards getting imported over soon in Battles of Legend. That's more support for reptiles. It's cool. They're still missing a little bit. They need like that glue piece to kind of glue the deck all together, but they kind of have a little bit of everything else. We'll see if they ever get that piece, though. But that's our first hit. We move on from there. Cosmos. Unfortunately, this one has not gotten support yet. And you know what? I think I might backtrack this one. If I could look at it now, I really like thought deep on it. I don't want Cosmos support now. I know they have cool lore. The fact that they're Wizard of Oz plus Star Wars combined, which is very cool. But the fact that their deck is kind of built to summon just like really annoying pseudo towers, and I'm like, if you just give them more support, that probably just means they become a deck that puts out multiple pseudo towers more consistently, which means they're just going to be one of the most dreadful decks to play against. Nobody wants that. I don't want that. And you know what? I'm actually okay with Cosmos kind of staying on the sideline for a while. I would probably replace them with Magistus if I could, to be honest. I really want to see Magistus support. All right, next up, Battery Man. I'm going to scream this one till the day I die, just like Magnet Warriors, just like another deck not too far on this list as well. It's Battery Man. They have some of the best artwork to me. I love that they're like cute / cool / based on a household object like a battery. Is so cool. They also have a couple cards that are good. 9 Volt's just a Stratos. Solar is just an Armageddon Knight. They have a non-once per turn like Reborn spell. They have a couple of really nice cards. They would need a bigger wave probably to make a full-on strategy out of them. But if we ever are hoping on like another addition to like a generic Thunder pile, this could be one of those. This could be one of the archetypes. Then is like kind of finalizing that and really gluing that together. I would love to see that so much, but not yet. Unchained, I hit on this one, nailed this one. I really felt like Unchained's time was coming up here. Konami was circling around on some of those newer archetypes, and I'm very happy about it. The support was really solid for them. I cannot wait to try them out in a month and a half when they come out. In the TCG, Really cool. Really glad about this one. This is one of my favorite archetypes we've gotten in the last couple of years, and I'm glad their engine's way more better now. All right, moving on. Gergia. I was worried that this was one of those where this wouldn't get support until it got a Structure Deck R series, because I think its first drop in the TCG was a Structure Deck. But the problem is, I went back and checked it. The OCG did not start with a Structure Deck. So even if they went back and updated a Structure Deck for Gergia, or they wouldn't do that for Structure Deck R. They would have to do it separate. And so I have more hope that it could still happen this year, but, you know, there's a lot of Earth Machine archetypes out there. Would they really go to this one before circling back to something like Ancient Gear or like a more anime relevant archetype? I'm not so sure, but it's still one I want to see. It had competitive viability back in the day, so there's some nostalgia there for some people. I love the goofy artwork for it. I'd love to see it, but we'll see. Next up, this is another one I will scream till the day I die. Subterror. Konami, get on them. The reason people hate Subterror so much is very similar to the reason people hated Sky Striker for a while. Yes, people disliked Striker during TOS format, but specifically after TOS format, when we got Mystic Mine, people hated it because it was just the best deck at facilitating Mystic Mine. And that was it. It was really the position it was in. We're kind of in a similar place with Subterror, not because Subterror is particularly good as a deck right now, but because of the style it's forced to play. The fact that its engine only has a couple of really playable cards, and they're very oppressive types of effects. And they're not complete effects, like you don't have full board control, but you do generically, or you do through your engine, like set up a generic Omni Negate, so it really helps protect things. Like a Floodgate, like a Dragoon, make him even harder to out. And that's kind of where you're forced to play this deck at its best capabilities. And that's a damn shame, because this archetype is so cool. It's the only solidly playable real flip archetype. Like, I know there's stuff like Shadal's, but like, you don't play it like a flip strategy. They just have flip effects, but mostly you're just sending them to get their send effects. So it's like not even really played as a flip deck. So like Konami, 2 to 3 really nice engine cards that actually help the deck like turbo through engine, and like it play as more of a mid-range strategy instead of this super defensive like stun strategy. Essentially means that if we play more of these engine cards, couple more 3-ofs in the deck, that means we don't have as much room for the Floodgates. You can't play the Dragoon package anymore because we're actually doing plays turn 1 and whatnot. You lose a lot of that stupid that like really makes people hate the way that this deck is played. I think that would be so good. Plus the artwork on this strategy is so freaking cool. Please come back to this. Konami, please give me some help on this one. All right, then the final two. We've got Volcanics. Nailed this one. Nailed this, nailed this, nailed this. You could say this was an easy one, but I would say if you put this on your list for the last 5 years, you would have gotten it wrong every year. I only put it on for this year, and I got it. So I'll take it. Really like their support. It's solid. It really makes them like a playable rogue strategy. Probably needs to combine with some other engines, but there is definitely something there for sure. And I'm excited to mess with them when they come out in the Legendary Duelist. Very cool. And the last one here was Teller Knights. This one was no surprise. Kind of like I was saying with Volcanics. I was putting this one in every list like this. What archetypes should get support this year, yada, yada, yada. Because I felt like it checked every box. It is nostalgic for people because it was a really good competitive strategy 5+ years prior. It is a warrior strategy, so it's a fan favorite. They're like Space Knights. The artwork is sick. It had everything else you really wanted to see. But, you know, Konami just hadn't gotten around to it for a while. And finally, Konami goes after it. They give them some decent support. I felt like this support fell into those weird categories where, like, if some of the cards they got were, like, one word different, like, so slightly different in the way that they worked, that could have been so much better than it is. But I'm not going to complain. Those cards are still pretty nice, and the deck's a playable rogue deck, so it is what it is. Other than that, that's pretty much everything. Those are the 10 archetypes. I am 4 of 10 on the year so far. We are only, I don't know, like a third of the way through Age of Overlord, and then we're going to have a whole nother core set revealed prior to the end of the year. So we've got some opportunity here for sure to land another, I don't know, I would say 1 to 3 archetypes on here. If I even get one more throughout the rest of the year, I will be like half of the archetypes ended up getting support. And so far, these have been pretty good. The ones that have gotten support on here, the Octoadic stuff is nice. Probably on the lower end of the stuff we're talking about here, honestly. But like the Unchained support is nice. The Volcanic support is hella nice for where they were. And Tellarknights, like, decent. Turn them from nothing into a playable rogue strategy during tier format. So, very, very interesting. Let me know what you guys think down below. Like, what do you think are the odds that the other 6 archetypes I have on here get in before the end of the year? And should I circle back, start talking about this again, or should I wait till the end of the year and make one for 2024? Let me know your thoughts down below. I thought this would be a fun video to look back on where I've been with my predictions so far in the year. And we'll see. Like I said, I wish I had put Magistus on here. I still think there's a good chance Magistus gets support before the end of the year, but that's, I should have put it on here. I missed it. That's my fault. But I'm out here for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, as always. Let me know your thoughts down below. I will see you guys in the next video with more news or otherwise. Peace.